Hi, guys. It's Resting Dollface here. Thank you so much for being here. I know this was not planned. This was rather last minute. I have to say, I've been working on a lot of new videos, all the things I promised, been working in the background. And, oh, wait, just going to wait here a little bit. Looks like there's a little bit of a delay. Hey, okay, there it is. There it is. Hey, Carol. Hey, hey, world gone mad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Don't copyright me there. There, Carol. Guess what I just did because you're amazing. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Norak. Yes, look, thank you. Thank you for listening in the background. I do that all the time, especially for everybody in our community. Earlier, I was listening to Royal Daily Tea as I was making banana nut bread for the neighbors, and I was making Sue Smith's lemon pound cake. So, yes, Anderson, my goodness. Bear with me, guys. We're just going to let people kind of trickle on in. I did see that, Carol, that Harry won his security review to be done. Um, I'm really curious about that. I mean, there's so much that's popping up right now. I really don't even know where to begin. But yeah, bear with me, guys, for just a moment. And everybody coming in. Hi, guys. Hi. All right, let me handle some technical stuff, and I'll be right with you. I'm getting better. I promise I'm getting better at all of this. I have been practicing offline, okay? Hey, Liney. Oh my God, you're on right as I am. That like never happens. Thank you. Hi. All right, trying to handle some technical stuff and YouTube is not helping at the moment. I love you, YouTube. Please don't come at me or flag me for that. It's not as user friendly as you think it would be. It's not making as much sense. So bear with me for a second. Okay, hang on one moment. Like it's not helping at the moment. Bear with me, guys. Oh, thank you, thank you. Hey, hey, Kit Kat. Where is everybody from right now? I mean, I see a lot of faces, a lot of people say faces, a lot of people that I've seen before, but remind me, where is everybody tuning in from tonight? And what time is it there? Okay, I truly do not know what I'm doing on that part, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're still going to have a great life. Oh my gosh, Texas and World Grand New York. It's hot in Australia. That's right. It's the opposite time of year for you guys. Virginia, Eastbourne, midnight. Oh, honey, you're so sweet. Stephen, your sofa. Wow, wow. In Southwest Florida, my goodness. Have you been like anybody getting ready for the holidays? Like actually I've been trying to listen to holiday music in the background, planning to go see lights. Alaska, my goodness. Wow, hello. Just finished Pilates class and joining. Yay, world gone mad. Well, thank you. Hey, Colorado. Hi, guys. Oh, this is so exciting. Like, I know it's been a while since I've really just done a live and I've been in and out, so many things going on it. I know anybody who's ever had to move before, you know how stressful that can be. Well, I kind of had to move two residents and three, sorry, three residents, try to compile two into one, and it was just an adventure. We're gonna go with that word. Cillian. Thomas Markle just dropped a new video without the spice. Thomas Markle Jr. Yeah, I saw where Peter Ford, God, if you're not following him on X, Peter Ford is one of my favorite entertainment news reporters down in Australia. I follow him all the time, been following him for years, and he always has some very interesting insight. So, Anderson, I'm doing a no spin with large corporations. They need a lesson. Yes, support your local business. Me too, Liney. Me too. I love that we're from all over. I mean, look, I understand. Look, yes, the internet can be a dangerous place. Yes, you know, you have to watch out for things. But I love that it does offer this connection. God, I remember when I went to Disney World, I want to say 98, 97, 98. I remember when it was in Epcot where they had somebody from one side of the world having what we now use as FaceTime with somebody else from the other side of the world. So I just thought that was pretty amazing that, you know, the things we take for granted now, back in the day, just to hear somebody's voice was or to get a letter from them was the most amazing thing in the world. And now we're able to connect like this and we're not having to have prepaid cards and extraordinary, so, you know, long distance bills. Could you imagine? Oh, Kit Kat, thank you. Missed you too. Okay, so guys, let's get started. I do have a much better way of toggling back and forth. This has been a great learning experience for me. I'm actually pretty tech savvy, more so on the back end of things. Oh my God, revealing. Hi. Hey, Tiffany. Thank you. Um, Sorry, I just get so excited. We had a great live on her channel earlier. And yeah, so hey, oh yes, okay. So one of the first slides I've pulled up here, as you can see, is what they're showing on X from the Daily Mail. And it's Meghan Markle insists she did reach out to her strange sick father, Thomas, as he issued pleas to her from his hospital bed. And you know, I've been sharing my thoughts on this quite a bit. Rather than doing a poll, let's put in the chat box what we're thinking here, because this is heartbreaking to me. Um, it was upsetting, confusing. You didn't know which side, if there was a side to pick when this first kind of started back in 2018. Am I right? Um, there was the whole hoopla about, you know, her brother and sister trying to reach out to the monarchy. Thomas Markle had some very unflattering pictures of him taken while he was in Mexico, some paparazzi shots. Then he had some staged. You know, he came out and said yes, they were staged. More favorable paparazzi shots showing him getting ready for the wedding, showing him um, you know, looking up things about England. And we know that they were staged because, I don't know, crazy time. And it was like a week before the wedding. Daily Mail, I think, was the one that broke it too. The CCTV footage showed Thomas Markle walking into one of these places where the pictures were taken. You can see the photographer from Coleman Rayner, I think it was Coleman Rayner, specifically working with him, setting up the shots and things like that. And all of a sudden it became Meghan's wounded to the core. He betrayed her in the highest fashion possible. Um, he was a no-show at the wedding. Meghan and Harry still had the wedding anyway. At that time, I think Thomas Markle had 2 heart attacks back to back. And so, yeah, there was a lot going on. And then it became Lettergate, where she wrote letters. And Thomas kept coming to the media saying, no, I have not heard from Meghan. No, I'd like to hear from Meghan. No, this, and this. And then 5 friends ran to People Magazine, 5 anonymous friends, you know, hey, I read the letter. I read this. There was the lawsuit where it came to light that Meghan, yes, was working with Carolyn Durand. And amid Scobie to help finding freedom, even though she claimed she didn't. Jason Knopf came out with the emails proving that yes, she did. And she did end up winning her privacy violation lawsuit, but the damage was already done, showing that, hey, she was working behind the scenes and not being, as authentic as she claims that she was. Liney, the whole thing is absolutely shocking. She'll only help him if it helps her. I've heard that Harry is connected to an amputee charity. Will they sort that for him only if they can get an award? It's funny that you say that because it does seem that way. I mean, I'm having a really hard time. Let me pull up this slide real quick. Bear with me, guys. Mrs. Beaverhausen, yes, my heart breaks for him. Meghan has set up paparazzi shots repeatedly. Yeah, and she was even working with that same paparazzi person who did some of these shots when she and Harry first got to LA. Remember? I think it was with Guy the Beagle. They were seen walking around LA, the hills, setting up those shots. She was in white pants or something. Meg must learn most felonies have a statute of limitation. Whatever his transgressions, the statute has expired. It's funny that you say that because I'm actually going to get into that in just a moment. Let me pull up another slide here. Hang on one second. Because there's something that Tiffany at Revealing and I were talking earlier, because Meghan's been dropping a lot of hints for quite a while. She, everything is my chapter, I'm in this chapter, I'm on that chapter, blah, 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 blah. And it's very obvious that she wants to write some sort of a book, some sort of a tell-all, whether it's a memoir or the divorce book, like her family claimed, or I'm sorry, not her family, her team claimed that they were shopping. Notice how they never retracted that. There was no spokesperson, right? Yes. The letter was given to Sunday Mail. Thank you, Carol. Who emails their parents. Exactly. So it's come out after this whole Meghan's reached out to him, blah, blah, blah. It was not a call. The hospital is allegedly involved now, stating, no, we know who Thomas Markle is. Nobody's called. Then it got fixed, or clarified with Meghan coming out or somebody from her camp allegedly say, no, they sent an email. This is insane. And what we're looking at right here is what I posted on X. So if you follow me on X, I'm sure you've seen it already. If you don't, please give me a follow there, okay? Because I'd love to see you there. But right now, what you're looking at are the two pictures that we've seen from Meghan in recent years, okay? So the one right there where she's wearing a sweatshirt, that's where she took to her own Instagram account and she was saying, oh my God, the LA fires. This girl said she wanted this one thing, so she wanted it from Billie Eilish. I don't know Billie Eilish. I have no way of getting in touch with her, so I was like, oh my God, who could get this message to Billie Eilish? So she recorded some sort of a voice text. Now keep this in mind. Whether Thomas Markle Sr. changed his number, which he says he has not, right? So let's just say that he did. She bragged because she can't help it, in my opinion. No, all she did was send this voice text to somebody who allegedly sent it to someone else, who sent it to someone else and got it to Billie Eilish, and Billie Eilish sent her all of that swag for her to give that girl who lost everything in the LA wildfires. So she can do it. Heck, does anybody remember when she talked somebody into giving everybody, like these representatives and U.S. senators, personal cell phone numbers so she can call them? Meghan, if she wanted to, could get in touch with her dad. She hasn't, or, not to our knowledge and not to what they've said. She sent an email. Yeah, that's somebody who really wanted to do it, because the other pictures of her in front of all of those cameras from when she flew private plane to Uvalde, that horrible, horrible thing where those children lost their lives. She said in a personal capacity, she flew to Uvalde. For somebody who does things in a personal capacity, then how come when she went back, Years later, it was all over social media and in the papers, tabloids. So we know no matter what, if she wanted to, she could go. And I bring this up because whether it was Tom Bauer's book, Valentine Lowe, somebody's, it's all come out how the palace advised Meghan ever since the whole thing started in the press about her dad running to the media, her friends running to the media. They told her, you need to go sit down with your dad. And Meghan said, allegedly, oh, hey, hey, Naomi. But Meghan allegedly said, there's no way I can fly over there and not be hounded by the press or paparazzi shots. Like, there's no way this would stay secret. And lo and behold, that didn't stop her from doing that pap walk, did it? She walked back and forth in front of all of those crosses for the children who lost their lives, in front of all of those cameras. And if she was there in a personal capacity, then why'd you do the walk in front of the cameras? Surely you could have waited. Am I wrong? Please tell me. Let's see what you're saying in the chat. Oh, yay, I did it. Hey, Gray Voice, you're the very first comment I've ever highlighted, so thank you so much. Mr. Markle's telephone number remains unchanged for years. Yes, that's what's been published, is that just in case she ever did want to reach out to him, he made sure not to change his number. Kit Kat saying my stepdaughter was in Bahrain when her dad was dying, and she was on the next plane home. Yeah, so it seems to be the general consensus, or the majority of people are agreeing that there's a way to get this done. If it mattered enough to you, you could do it. Liney, no, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Because, what's crazy is she could find a way to go to Costa Rica with the kids, allegedly looking for coffee information. She found a way to make Nigeria happen. She found a way to make Colombia happen, right? Tula Bella, disaster tourism gets her fuel for being evil. And, oh, my goodness. Hey, Lulu's mom. Hey. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey was there. Carol, Matthew McConaughey was there due to being from Uvalde, Texas. His mother was a teacher. That made sense. And forgive me, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember him being photographed like this. There is a difference between somebody using a stock image of an actor or somebody famous, or, it's from afar. I don't recall him going in front of the cameras. I mean, for somebody who wants privacy, for somebody who says I was there in a personal capacity, you're really going to tell me Meghan, who said, hey, I can't go visit my dad back in 2018, back in 2019, back in 2020, or even until now, because there would be cameras there, yet you're going to go ahead and walk back and forth in front of cameras? You just had a shooting there. I mean, what kind of intel did you have that there wouldn't be any other, mentally messed up people walking around with guns? That there wasn't an accomplice, and you're just going to freely walk while claiming privacy, while claiming that she needs security because her life is in danger? The lovely, remember how Meghan threw a fit because she couldn't be yeah, allegedly it was that whole thing where, oh, well, why can't I be there? And Harry's fighting for her to be there. And then Catherine said, no, I'm staying home with the kids. I agree, no matter what. Catherine's staying home with the kids. They needed somebody there. So, I understand her staying home with the kids, but you know what? I still say Catherine had a right to be there. Whether she exercised it, that's a different story. But it came out that, Prince Charles was like, hey, look, Catherine's not coming. There's no need for Meghan to come. This is private family only, that sort of thing. I agree. I agree, Stephen. Nigeria, Colombia, yeah, safe. Meghan was so far gone when she stepped foot in Uvalde. Kit Kat, tell us a little bit more about that while I change the slide, okay? Because right now, I'm wondering, is there any way to save this? I don't think there is. When I say save this, I'm not talking about Meghan's relationship with her dad. What I'm talking about is Meghan's made it quite clear. She was an ambitious woman. She's always wanted to, be successful. And I'm not talking about allegedly wanting to be a billionaire or anything like that. I'm talking about, being a founder, being a successful person, having her own brand, things like that. So what I'm trying to say is, we all said between that Oprah interview where she really threw the royal family, especially the queen, under the bus. Prince Philip was in bad health. He passed away shortly after. And then she proceeded with that anyway, that tell-all interview. I mean, that wasn't very compassionate, was it? No, it was not. Okay, let's see. So this other thing I wanted to bring up, very wise words from Carol Malone, that that trending thing, Salmonella Sussex always ignores. More important than her career, Meghan will come to learn that people who refuse to let go of anger, of grudges, who cut family out of their lives, who are unable to show forgiveness or understanding will, in the end, pay a bigger price than the person they're trying to punish. Because that sort of vengefulness eats away at the soul. Now, she's talking about on a different level. She's talking about the inside, right? Okay, Uvalde is a small town near our border. She just added that to that confusion with what was going on. No, I agree completely. So while this lady is saying, Carol Malone, that, hey, you holding on to this anger, you not making amends, that's going to hurt you longer in the, more in the long run than it is about your image. She's talking about inside, because it's true. Getting mad at somebody or, wanting to do revenge, somebody said it. It's like swallowing poison, but expecting the other person to die from it. Have you ever heard that? I remember now, in all fairness, Carol, I heard that too, but it wasn't like we heard it from a spokesperson, so I'm always careful, about that kind of thing, you know? Um, yeah, Thomas Markle Jr. just dropped a video. Um, non-contacted her dad, apologized for a strong. Yeah, so Thomas Jr. apparently released a video, um, and there was some language in it, that got the video taken down. She has zero compassion. It's all fakery with them both. Lula's mom, she doesn't hold those feelings inside. She's empty. No, it's really interesting because her holiday special just came out. And the good news is when I do my With Love Megan review, it's covering both season one, excuse me, season one and season two, which we all know was filmed at the same time. All right. So I think it was they had way too much content, enough to split it up. So it makes it look like she was successful and got greenlit. But it was all from when Guy the Beagle was alive, and they filmed the Christmas thing at the same time. And she's so basically, if you watched one episode, you watched it all. I'm going to wrap it together in a really, really nice bow. Can we talk about the America Europe? I don't know what that is. You're going to have to clarify it for me. Oh, is it the offending video or the video from 45 minutes ago? Because the offending video, somebody said, got taken down. Um, yeah, the Christmas special too. And you might be right, DeLovely. There's always going to be people who support diabolical people, but she will be evil in the Hollywood that gets support. Well, you know what? But to what extent? And that's the very interesting thing. You're not wrong, but to what extent? Because at the end of the day, with her, she's never going to reach those heights that she really seemed to have wanted for herself, where she would have been an A-list, where she would have been like Oprah or Goop. Am I right? There's no coming back from this. Even my first thought, and I shared this with Tiffany and everybody in the live earlier, um, was when they said when all the papers ran with she's reached out to him, nobody was caring if it, like, nobody was splitting hairs. Was it phone call or email then? Not until they came out and said, no, she hasn't. Nobody's called, right? My first thought was, "Oh my god, is she gonna show up with a camera crew? Is she gonna use her iPhone? Is she gonna sell this deal to Oprah and have it be, 'No, I haven't seen him?'" That is unfortunately because of everything she's done exactly where my mind went. Am I alone in that? Did anybody else feel that when they saw this? Gray voice. Mr. Markle never did anything so dreadful to be excommunicated by his evil daughter. She did everything a party keep. I mean, now there's a lot of speculation again because she wants that book, she wants that memoir, and we're all wondering what can she possibly talk about. So I'm glad you brought that up because I have it. Let me pull up that slide real quick. Because she said that in the cut interview, right? Let's see if this works. And I don't think it did. Not the way I wanted it to. Bear with me, guys. I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm doing. I'm learning. Let's do it this way. And we go like this, and we do like that. All right, you ready? So remember 2022, the cut. The whole thing was Meghan of Montecito. Now, a lot of people, especially because the Harry and Meghan special seemed to focus on Tyler Perry and his relationship with Meghan, and he was like, "That's somebody who's been abused. They've been abused." So it's got the public wondering, like, did Thomas Markle do anything, that was possibly bad or worse that she's not coming about? And um because again, it's really weird that though Meghan had never met Tyler Perry in person, she'd reached out when she and Harry got married to tell her that he was, he had reached out to her, right? Hey, I'm praying for you. Everybody seemed to have their own reason why they had Meghan up on a pedestal. Meghan represented so many things, yet Meghan seemed to have had her own agenda. And I say that because of what Gina Nelthorpe Cowan said when right after Megxit was announced. We'll put that out there for another day, right? So I am going to do a video about how pretty much the Harper's Bazaar that just featured Meghan seems to be just the cut polished up and on a bigger name. Boy, do we have some things about that. So there was something very, very interesting in here, and it was the way that she said it was about her dad. So long story short, we know that Meghan has a tendency to vary with her recollections, right? The Queen had addresses saying recollections may vary. And oh, wow. Okay, sorry, this just caught my eye. So as of August 2022, the cut so far, there's been little consumable content out of Archwell. 3 years later, not much more happened, did it? Just had to touch base on that. So eye contact, blah, 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 blah. Manners make the man, yada, 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 yada. Salt and pepper always go together. Gloria, I call him Glow, like anybody asked, like literally nobody ever. Right? And everything was my chapter, how did it get so hard? I tried to play a royal. I was an actress. My entire job was to tell me where to stand, tell me what to say, tell me how to say it, tell me what to wear, and I'll do it. Revealing, if you're watching, we need to cover this because it shows just how inauthentic she was, how she wasn't there to do it. She was playing being royal. There was no actual her being royal, right? Abusive press coverage, blah, 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 blah. Oh, they told us, hey, you got to do this since we're paying for everything and we're going to go make money, blah, 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 blah. Blood type A positive, yuck, 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 don't care. And anyway, okay, I thought I had it pulled up already. And so I did, it's on a different slide. But anyway, Um, right here. Here's the part that I was trying to get to. So she's been planting all along. I'm in this chapter of my life, that chapter. We get it, Megan. You want a book. All right. Allegedly, her team was shopping a divorce tell all. Never came out, redacted that, or corrected it, did she? But right here in August 2022, Megan grew up very close to her father, Thomas, a retired lighting director who gave Megan her Hollywood bug. But she has been estranged from him basically since the wedding. He was not in attendance, so there's a link here to cover that. And every miserable fissure in their former bond has been publicized, often by him. Okay. After the wedding, the Mail and Sunday leaked her heartfelt letter, begging to speak, that she said stop speaking to reporters. She sued for invasion of privacy and won, though the defense mounted against her painted her as calculating and manipulative. Well, it hasn't changed since then, public perception, especially with all the evidence that came out. And when the author asks Megan about it, Megan says she doesn't, Megan didn't stand in her sadness for long. Instead, she uses it to discuss how toxic tabloid culture has torn two families. Harry said to me, I lost my dad in this process. It doesn't have to be the same for them as it was for me, but that's his decision. Well, Megan's saying it right there. She's saying it. It's the tabloids, the tabloids. The tabloids took my daddy away from me. My dad decided to turn to the tabloids. This coming from the woman who seriously gets pep walks and stage things all the time. Like, I don't think there's an authentic thing we've seen from her except, in my opinion, faking everything. So no matter what she says, we will always have this article here where she very clearly states, I lost my dad in all of this. And it was because of the tabloids. Let's see what everyone's saying. You're absolutely right, Carol. She went on a technicality. Oh wow, everybody. Let me see what I missed out on here. You know, um, she started all of this by abusing and lying about her dad. Irony of her dad being Hanjun is not wasted. No, absolutely, because for years before Harry, and I'm sorry, I don't care how modern you are. Like, Harry really didn't think I need to go meet the man of the woman that I love. He's out there thanking Toronto how many times for giving him his wife. And you didn't think to go meet Mr. Markle in person. So you started dating, let's just go by their public timeline. They started dating in July of 2016, and you mean to tell me not once between July 2016 and May 2018, so almost 2 years, not once could they fly Mr. Markle over? Harry couldn't do a Zoom one single time. Zoom! It's free for 30 minutes. Ask Carol. We did it. I mean, how many times did Doria fly over? Does anybody else see that? Wow, a lot of things people are thinking could have happened. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Megan can't stand anyone else having a voice because it interferes with her narrative. And it almost seems to me like Megan has this idea of how she wants to be perceived and only that way, whether her actions line up or not, because that is what she's dictating. Anybody else see that? Let's see if I could get this other thing up. So I bring this up because a lady who said, hey, no matter what he's done, it was a bad judgment call. What he did was not so evil that he deserves this. Now, I don't know if everybody is aware of this, but Megan, or one of her many staff members, let me tell you, while all of this has been going on, and allegedly sent an email couldn't bother, couldn't break a sweat, right? Couldn't do the actual work of calling him. They have been sharing nonstop these stories to the As Ever social media account. You're really gonna tell me that there's no way? I mean, I don't wanna hear it was automatically done by the company. We've seen Meghan's staffing issues, all right? We've seen her staffing issues. It's not like she has people working full time gathering the honey from her estate. I really can't see her having people working 24/7 on this brand and doing social media shares for her. Can you? Hang on one second. I'm trying to clean this up so I can get to the other stuff that I had for us. Yeah, so right now, basically, let me pull this one up because it was really good. It was a lady from that I was telling you about where she was saying, "Hey, look, whatever he's done, it's not worth all of this. Like, it's not that bad." Let's pull up exactly what that article said. So down, if you scroll into the article from the Express, it's all families have fallouts, some more serious than others. But what Thomas Markle did was daft rather than evil, and he's paid a heavy price for it. Should he really be punished until his dying breath? He's already been denied the joy of ever knowing his grandchildren. So does Meghan's anger, her vindictiveness, really extend to denying him what might be a final goodbye? How can she continue to make a career based on love and compassion when she hasn't shown a jot of either to her poor dad? But more important than her career, Meghan will come to learn that people who refuse to let go of anger, of grudges, who cut family out of their lives, who are unable to show forgiveness or understanding will in the end pay a bigger price than the person they're trying to punish. Because that's the same thing that she had. And she finishes it with Meghan just needs to pray that her own children never do to her what she has done to her father. It'll break her heart just like she's broken his. So, this article again is the one that was written in the Express. It was written by Carol Malone. I highly recommend reading the whole thing. It was actually a really, really, really nice piece. And then there's a few other things I wanted to cover. I greatly appreciate everyone being here tonight. Thank you so much. So, yeah, who remembers Meghan Markle and Harry being outed, I should say, as grifters by Bill Simmons, the Spotify executive? Who remembers that? Oh, she is great. She absolutely is great. Who remembers that? Well, some more things have come out. You ready for this? All right. So special thanks to the Queen's speech over on X, because Kitson's, and if you remember them, Kitson's is that store over in the Los Angeles area. And yeah, I think it was 2023. What a year it was for Harry and Meghan. This is also the store, and Kinsey Schofield told us this a couple years ago. This was the store when Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, and Angelina Jolie were going through that whole love triangle thing. This store is the one that did the Team Aniston or Team Jennifer, Team Angelina thing, right? Well, back in 2023, they're also the ones that, and so this was after 3 years after Harry and Meghan have been living in California. They put Harry and Meghan on the cover for their Christmas window display. So here we have it again. Why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are disliked by Americans, most unpopular kids in school. So for the people who keep claiming it's the British tabloids, here they are, 2025, Kitsons, Keep in mind they came up with this before Mr. Markle was rushed to the hospital and unfortunately has had to have his leg amputated. So these are the headlines that they've come up with. So first of all, the first one is by the New York Post. Why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are disliked by Americans, quote unquote, most unpopular kids in school. Oh God, the lamest title ever. You ready? One by page 6. Meghan Markle defies the no dogs rule at farmers market in Montecito. Daily Mail. Meghan Markle's professionally wooing Amazon top boss Jeff Bezos. Meghan Markle's homemade jam reportedly mass-produced 2,000 miles away from her Montecito home. More by the New York Post. Yes, Meghan Markle's staff announced her Duchess title entering a room with only 2 guests present. I don't know what else we really need about them, right? Oh, this was when they were covering Thomas Markle moving to the Philippines to begin with. The Sun, sad split. Meghan Markle's refusal to let her dad meet the kids leaves a nasty stain, but he has no choice but to move away, expert says. Yeah, so here's a close-up of them. Meghan Markle's hypocrisy, the Duchess won't let go of her royal status. Isn't it kind of interesting? Yes, you are absolutely right. Carol's saying they did it last year also. You're absolutely right. The lovely things don't add up. Last week, we learned she had access to her billionaire's friend, Victoria Jackson's private jet. Yeah, her private jet. And allegedly, it was her brownstone where she was letting Meghan Markle have her house manager announce her by title and having guests over and in to do press. That's kind of funny, huh? Yep, Kidson's. Her mate's private jet wouldn't have the range to reach the Philippines. She would run out of fuel and ditch mid-ocean. Okay. I'm pretty sure they have phone signal and internet there. That would be why Mr. Markle was able to reach out to the Daily Mail. So no matter what, I really don't see why. But what do you guys think? Let's discuss this right now. Because Mr. Markle's health has gone for the worst, because it's become very clear that she's misleading the public with the whole reached out, um, wasn't really a phone call, that sort of thing. Do we think there's any way she can ever turn this around? Because if you ask any of, my friends in this community, I've discussed with them several times. I was like, all Meghan has to do is this. All Meghan has to do is that. This is not hard. This is all she has to do. And she could turn it around. She can do this. She can do that. Here's a picture of the one of Harry and Meghan and her in 2023. Harry and Meghan branded eco-hypocrites after taking Oil Air's private jet to Katy Perry gig. So yeah, they had a private jet there. Harry and Meghan fly to Caribbean on a private jet days after attending a conference where attendees were told climate change is impacting on mental health. They are definitely the Duke and Duchess of hypocrisy. I will give them that. It's kind of a beautiful thing because guess what, guys? It's not just the British tabloids. The Cut in American Magazine called her out. The Hollywood Reporter called her and Harry American grifters, right? So keep blaming the British press. Meghan, you came home and they don't want you. I don't know what else to tell you. No one's buying this anymore. I don't think anybody ever bought it to begin with. I think that they were very, very lucky that she still kind of flew under the radar to the point where if there was a headline and she was able to dictate it, people believed it. I was telling Tiffany, the cool mom group that I speak to on occasion, they don't even know, and we're in America here, they didn't even know that Meghan Markle left the British family. Yeah. Sources said email sent. Sources said no email. Sources said, yeah, it's always a lot of sources and everything else. But it's so funny. Oh my God, Lee Foster, I have to share this. If she went to the hospital to see her father, she would probably have the nurse announce her entrance to her father. I think so. I think so. I definitely agree with you. Hey, Sarah S. Megan pays an ungodly sum for PR, from what I assume. So anything is possible at that level of propaganda. People have short memories. You are absolutely correct. They will read the headline. And it's why it makes sense that she keeps regurgitating the same things over and over again. She gets the attention for saying she's rebranding, but she regurgitates the same stories. And because her recollections may vary, it does get tweaked here and there sometimes, right? Carol, I think Lady C is correct. Her family will be her undoing. They will, because Megan, now we'll say this. I watched her holiday special. I've never felt like I was in the room with somebody who was being so condescending towards me in my entire life as watching Megan in that special. Because she is literally explaining what a Christmas tree is. She is putting ornaments on and saying why it's so special to her. There's no ornaments the kids made. If you watch the teaser trailer, it was, carrying on old traditions and adding on a few new ones. And not once was it anything that it was like, hey, growing up, this is what we did, and here's one Archie made. So, like, when it came time for crafting, it was nothing that she's done with the kids. It was very awkward. It was like somebody on set or an intern had to come up with a list of 20 crafts to show Megan could put things together. She didn't have anything. When you watched Martha Stewart and Martha Baby, if you're watching, I'm going to do you justice here. You ready? When you watched Martha Stewart in the 90s, and I was just a kid, and I was definitely a feminist, and I'm not doing all of that kind of work, even though, we're allowed to have careers. Martha would literally make this breakfast from scratch, and while it's baking, teach you how to take ordinary tissue paper, put it in a blender with water, some scented oil, some dried flowers. Oh my God, is that where she stole the dried flowers from? Sorry, squirrel moment. Add some glitter and then pour the concoction over a screen so you can make your own paper to write letters. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got flower sprinkles and letters with Martha. Okay, I'm sorry. There's too much. But she was teaching you to do that while you were waiting on your souffle or your quiche to come out, whatever it was that you were cooking. You're right. It is all about the kids. If she dropped everything and gone straight to the hospital, she'd have gotten invaluable positive PR because even critics, yes, you're absolutely right. That was the right move. And you know what? It shows you've healed and you're the bigger person. And how many times has she been talking about healing? Even in the Harper's Bazaar or one of those weird interviews she's done, it was when we were here. It was all about building community and healing. I can't remember if it was the Bloomberg one or the Jamie Kern Lehman one. I think it was the Bloomberg one because she's been having the oddest PR blitz lately. Her and Harry have kind of like fireworks that go in the air and they pop, and then you see all those sparks just go out. That's what it reminds me of with them. It makes no sense. There's no cohesion. And it's the same that happened in her Christmas special. Look at all of her friends coming over and making crafts. Spoiler alert. That tablescape we saw her setting for the pictures and that green dress that was allegedly stolen, she doesn't even make the tablescape. So when she's crafting with her friends, they all come over and they make wreaths. Instead of it being, okay, guys, I want to set up this really nice dinner. There's no story in the holiday special. There is no, okay, this is what I'm working on. It's a super surprise for somebody. So I'm inviting over my girlfriend so we can set this up together, have time, pour a glass of wine, and we're going to make our own homemade wreath tablescape using real spruce and blah, blah, blah. At the end of this, she throws some sort of holiday party for everybody who worked on the set. much like she did at the end of season 2, which was some party that she had Chef Andre do to say thank you to the people on set. I too am surprised that she hasn't released some sort of letter to people. But yeah, so all of this stuff on the show makes no sense. There's nothing. She doesn't share anything. It's not Harry loves this. Now what she does do is when Tom Colicchio, he seems like a great guy. He's been the head of Top Chef for pretty much since it came out, the head judge. And he's sharing this amazing thing. And she's like, my husband hates everything in there. Well, then she tries to say, oh, we're going to make crackers because that's where my husband, that's the UK part. And she does it wrong. And, she goes on and on and on about Lily likes this, Lily likes that, Lily likes this, Lily likes that. And here's a cracker for Archie. That is pretty much the same way she does it. So if you've ever seen that movie Mean Girls, where it's here's a sucker for you, Glen Coco, you go, Glen Coco. And that Santa is doing it for everybody and really building them up, and then goes, and then there's none for Gretchen Wiener. It had that same type of attention. To me, Archie comes off as not important. She's focusing on the daughter, feminism, day of the girl dad, that kind of thing, which is really odd when you think about it. Because again, how does this tie in? Because remember, Thomas Markle spoiled her. She used to share it in her Instagram post. Best dad ever. Spoiled. She would be taken and doing videos about the importance of eating local, sustainability, saving the environment. And then she shared another post that she was sick, but her dad, Thomas Markle, overnighted her some matzo ball soup and some oranges. So it's all about being a girl dad and spoiling the little girl. And everything's Lily, 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 Lily. Princess Goose. Stephen Magnus, you're 100% right. She's a jealous person. A real friend puffs her friends up. You're absolutely right, Carol. Tell us that Lily is your favorite without telling us Lily is your favorite. My first book I bought from Arthur around 1993 was entertaining. I still love it. Kit Kat, thank you, because I saw that she just released that book again, and I want to get that book. So now I know I'm going to do it. Meghan hated Naomi. Now that's Naomi Osaka. If you have not heard, Naomi Osaka was the tennis player. I guess Serena was unavailable. The tennis player that was on the holiday show. And it was because Meghan never likes people of color lady to outshine her, but Naomi is a sports star, fashion designer, young. I really can't explain what it was. They definitely seemed like two strangers. Like they had nothing in common. But you know who else was a stranger? Mindy Kaling. And look at what she did, throwing that big party to kind of love bomb her, in my opinion, because all these people who she has coming on her show, she doesn't know. And she's normally showing how she scrolls and Googles and she stalks them, allegedly. I'm sorry to hear, hey, I don't know this person, but I went ahead and I scoped out their Instagram. That weird thing she does with that little drop it down, almost a whisper. I don't know if it's what Scott Rouse says, the reason why she does that, or if it's an NLP thing. Because it's like a pause and then she lowers it. Right? No, joy of my hearts. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the best book. Okay, and it's being re-released. So obviously it has some stuff in it that's really good. And I've been seeing some bloggers and other lifestyle people out there saying that they're recreating a lot of her dishes. So yes, I think I'm going to do the same. Martha is such a classic. Yeah. And you know what? It's so weird that you say that. Literally just had this thought because for the life of me, I could not understand why Meghan thought it was a good idea for her to go and try to be some sort of lifestyle guru, lifestyle brand expert. And what she brought to the table, no, Meghan, I don't think you deserve this seat. Like, you're lucky if you get invited to the table. That's my opinion. Okay? You're very much a Wallace Simpson. You're here to come to the party just so we can say we have a member of the royal family to get people to show up. That is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. Because when you watch the video from Emma Greedy's dinner, which was literally called A Seat at the Table, because Meghan kept saying and did nothing with it. But Emma Grady does it, and all of a sudden it became this huge big thing, and everybody was lively, and they were interacting, and she's just sitting there staring and drinking her wine by herself while everybody else is interacting. Part of me thinks, and I could be wrong, it's just a personal opinion, but it just hit me, as detail-oriented and as from scratch and as so thoughtful and specific as Martha Stewart is, I think Meghan thought, "Well, I'll just be the opposite of Martha. I'll show that, hey, just because you're too busy doesn't mean you're not good enough, just because you can't do what Martha does, and I'll win all those ladies over." Now, Meghan, is it just me, or do you agree that whether you can do what Martha does or you can't, the reason why Martha works is because it gives you a level to aspire to be. So when you see Martha doing all of this, probably growing her chickens and everything, raising her chickens, when you get a moment and you do take your takeout that you didn't have a chance to cook and you put it on a plate, you go, wow, look at me. I'm like Martha Stewart. You feel like you're good or you did good enough because you're trying, even though you didn't deliver it. So Meghan and her program and everything she's been saying severely lowers the bar, in my opinion. And so when it's her giving you permission to do this, I don't know. At that point, I'm like, wow, I didn't even try because she is somebody associated with the royal family and private security and the land of Montecito with all these millionaires and being at these dinners like Emma Greedy's where the chef comes on and talks about all these dishes that they cooked from scratch. And Meghan's like, I'm too busy to cook. I'm lucky if I get to drop the kids off. I have too many business meetings. Or what, Meghan? Go home, kid, says Meghan is just beyond Earth. She's an alien. Martha put decades of hard work and a passion. She cared about her brand, her reputation. You're absolutely right. And there was a really good movie. I want to say, what's her name? She was the actress in Moonlighting, guys. Help me out. Oh, come on. I'm going to Google it. You're right, Gray Voice. Martha thinks long term, but it's also who Martha is. So Martha was a model at one point. She was a housewife. I don't say that in a bad way, Martha, because you were the housewife in the sense of back when there were charm schools and the wives had to do so many things to help their husband get promoted, security, job security, and everything else. Yes, Sybil Shepherd. Thank you so much. So there was a made for TV movie that was showing Martha Stewart. And of course, I do think, they focus a little too much on her being OCD and demanding. All right. But I am going to say this. She fixed dinners for major events. And so she's like, if you're helping me do this, it's going to be done the way that I can do this. She wanted it replicated with the perfection and the attention to detail. Not the look, I tried to look. When you have people of that kind of importance, you do want it to be perfect. So the way she wanted, now maybe she went about it the wrong way. Maybe she didn't have bedside manner or, Tony Robbins build you up. She was there for execution. No different than a lot of these chefs that we've seen and top chefs that we've seen that get a little rude. Oh, you love that show. Moonstruck with Cher. Look, again, am I wrong? Like when you see somebody like Martha Stewart, you can sit there and go, I'm not going to do all that work. But you feel like when you tried, it gave you a sense of pride. It gave you a sense of like you were elevating yourself. Whereas Meghan comes along, lazily plates something, maybe throws a few pieces of flour sprinkles or a couple of pieces of mint. And she's like, that's good enough for today. It makes you feel like, what was that? We waited all this time for that? Yep, you're absolutely right, Carol. That was I feel like I've lost everybody. Um, Kit Kat. I work 9 to 5 as an art director, raised 2 boys, and found time to entertain. Kit Kat, message me, please, okay? I wanna know how you did time management. I do, because I do wanna do better at entertaining. Um, Not that I don't like what I do, but I love collaborating with others, and I love just having conversations with others. 10 PR people quit. It's all Megan everything, articles, phone calls. She has no one, no friends. She's it. Um, oh my God. You are absolutely right, Tonga Tiger. I think I was more Sandra Lee, and no shame in that game. So if you don't remember Sandra Lee, I loved her. It was semi homemade. So, newsflash, Megan. Megan's show as ever. I agreed. It's the same stuff. I understand why she called it as ever, because to me, it was the same, no talent, nothing to bring to the table that she was trying to peddle on the TIG and on her own Instagram when she was hoping to get a show, going around interviewing different chefs, that kind of thing. She was hoping to get a paid gig doing that per Gina. And I think Tom Bauer too, because he spoke to Gina. And she couldn't get that show. She doesn't have the presence. She doesn't have the right faces. God, the mask slips. Seriously, check out Revealing the Narc if you haven't. But Sandra Lee with semi homemade, she'd be like, you get a pound cake. It's already cooked. It's from the bakery section. And then you come over here and you take some fresh berries and you do this from scratch and you do this from scratch and you cook this, add it, you plate it like so, and it's amazing. Megan doesn't even do that. All right? She doesn't show you how to pop open the peas to make them look perfect. I picture some poor assistant on set desperately trying to do it and not mess up. That's perception. Yes, Pamela Anderson, her cooking show had the recipes being made step by step and no rings. Oh God. Oh God, the amount of bacteria that's got it. No amount of washing is going to go ahead and get the salmonella and God knows what else out of the intricate rings and diamonds that she wears. In the 2000s, we had amazing cooks like Martha Stewart, Rachel Ray, Sandra Lee, Giada De Laurentiis, and Ina. And you know what's so funny is Megan likes to sit there and go just like Giada, ricotta. Like all she does. You want to talk about parrot? Not only does she use other people's names and then parrot the way that they talk, watching the show was awful. So when she had Daniel Martin in season 1 and they're talking about those green pearls, I'm sorry, green peas, he's like, "Oh my god, they look like pearls." And she's like, "Yep, little green pearls." And he goes, "Green pearls." And she goes, "Green pearls, girls." It is the most awkward, random, has nothing to do with anything conversation. And then watching the holiday special, could she say cacio e pepe any more times? I feel like she was trying to say it so many times to get it stuck in your head because it has been a trending dish. But my God, like it came off more like the Goes Wrong show. The episode The Lodge. Check them out on YouTube. It's free if you've got YouTube. The paid version. Anyway, on the Goes Wrong show, they do The Lodge, and during dress rehearsal, they realize they're 2 minutes short, so they start adding in nonsense words to make it go longer. That's what the Cacio Pepe felt like. Like the show ran short. She can't remove her toxic reputation, not after her behavior in the past years. I agree. I agree. You're absolutely right. Asinine food puns. So, speaking of asinine food puns, please remember that because Revealing the Narc and I will be releasing a video probably over the next 2 weeks because we caught something about Miss Meghan Markle. So yeah. Do. Yeah. Tis the seasoning or lettuce. Like her puns suck, in my opinion. And I love puns. I love puns so much. It's not even funny. Okay. So there is something that I want to bring up as we close out real quick. Give me 1 second here. Guys, I cannot thank you all for being here enough. Um, this has been really nice. My prayers are with Thomas Markle. Even if she does reach out to him, they talk, reconcile, whatever, she's gonna dine out on their strained relationship or reunification for the rest of her life. Look at what she's been doing with the press. Okay. The Harper's Bazaar, The Cut, all of it. So I am going to share something. So before I share this, guys, do me a favor. If you're subscribed to Twin Talk, go check out the video that they posted today, or go check it out on their Instagram. I'm going to show the video. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Love you too. And you're welcome. Thanks for being here. But I'm going to show the video as we head out. Remember how yep, just for the halibut, another bad pun. Really, really not so Instagram worthy things. Oh, what a year it's been for Meghan Markle. But it all started off with it being the year of 2025, the year of the Meg. With this video here, she's running to the beach and she writes in the sand, 2025. Now look towards the other part of the screen. You're going to see that she wrote it before. This was like take 2 or 3. Up, here it comes. Here it comes. Ready? Totally random laugh giggle thing. Totally random. Now, go to Twin Talks video. That's on YouTube. Go check Nancy's video that you posted on X, or go to Twin Talk on Instagram, because something tells me 2026 is going to be the year of Twin Talk. So, yay! TikTok saw it. Yes, it was so good. So good. Andrea, there never should have been any pathway back for her post Netflix up. And I agree. I agree. But, you know, PR management loves a good comeback and the underdog, stuff like that. Meghan will keep trying over and over. Yes, that video was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Carol. Well. Oh, I knew what you meant, K-Cat. I did. Are you on Instagram or X? If you are, let's all connect there, guys. Yes, Tonga Tiger. You rock too. Love you so much. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here. I know we ran a little over. I greatly appreciate it. Tina Beeb saw it. Yes, good job. Yeah, I saw it. Look, I had to text Nancy. I know she's out of pocket right now. I was like, oh my God. I could not stop laughing. It was on repeat, and it was the happiest thing ever. I just kept smiling and smiling. And so even when I burned myself making Sue Smith's lemon cake, which came out amazing, I'm going to have to upload pictures, so stay tuned. I'm trying to get better at following, like posting more stuff on Instagram. I understand the logistics. I'm just, not used to all of that. Oh, thanks, Skylab. Yay, thank you. Yes, please go follow me on Instagram. Carol, thank you so much. You're absolutely amazing. Carol is such a giver, guys. And she has a great Instagram page specifically for all royal fashions called the Palace Fashion Files. Please go give her a follow too. I mean, we're talking, not only does she cover it and what it is, if it's a rewear, stuff like that, she's got really beautiful graphics. And she's just very, very talented at what she does. She's such a giver. Yes. All right. And then Princess Goose says, yes, I will never trust her again. I don't, you know what it reminds me of, but I'm going to leave it at this. If you've ever watched anything Jane Austen, Persuasion, remember the main guy's sister ran off with the guy. The main guy's sister, who was married, ran off with the guy. and they were talking about some sort of PR plan to help welcome them back into society. And then it's the same thing with Lydia in Pride and Prejudice when she ran off with Wickham. Even though they were married, they were never going to be accepted into good households ever again. So to me, um, I really think I really don't think there's a way back for Meghan to ever be in the spotlight as an A-lister at all with this. Um, so, oh, thank you so much, Kit Kat. Oh my God, me too. Look, Carol, we need to have like a virtual girls' day, or we could do it like over weekends, where because I will sit and eat ramen and watch A&E's Jane Austen, yeah, A&E's Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice, the one with Colin Firth. I just absolutely love it. Hey, it's okay if you're late. I'm glad you're catching up. Thank you so much. And guys, if people didn't catch it live, that's okay. Go ahead and, rewatch it. That's the beautiful thing about this, right? I think so. Not only, I don't know. What I need right now is that clip of Sir Michael Caine from Miss Congeniality where he goes, "That girl has no talent." That's what her actually finally getting this With Love Megan show proved. She she said it. She said it in the Cut magazine. I'm an actress. You give me my lines, you tell me where to stand, and I do it. Ugh. So do I. Let's set it up. Let's set it up. I will hit you up on Instagram and we're going to work something out. I do love Pride and Prejudice. My gosh, I could watch it all the time. Do you think she remembers Harry's? I kind of have a different theory why she calls him H. And I think it's because she doesn't want everybody, when everybody's talking to her, it's not so much that it's a cute thing. Even though she's like, Gloria Steinem, I call her Glow. Nobody asked, Meghan. Nobody asked, okay? If you're trying to say you're special, fine. But I think it's to keep the spotlight on her instead of it being about the connection. Remember, linked, not ranked. She said that with Gloria Steinem. So, right. Oh my God, Emma and Clueless version. It is a Clueless version. Because when I saw Clueless, I saw that first before I saw Emma, and then I saw Emma and I went, wait a minute. Elton, Mr. Elton, Frank Churchill, Christian. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my Persuasion with Ciarán Hinds. If I'm saying his name wrong, forgive me. But I could watch that one all the time. I will say Persuasion is my all-time favorite. Nothing against Pride and Prejudice. There was something about Persuasion, and it was so interesting because it was done so low budget, didn't have the same budget as Pride and Prejudice did at the time. But there's something about it that just, wow, hits you in the feels. Feels. And I could sit and eat soup and ramen and watch that too. That would be a good day to me no matter what. Keira Knightley in Pride and Prejudice is good. She is. The music is haunting. I know it's just one of those things where my gosh, like after seeing the A&E one, I'm kind of like, I saw the other one first. Yes. Yes. Should we do that, guys? We should all set up a virtual date. Yes. Michelin. Hey, look, I don't need that Michelin star, but a little bit better than that 25-cent bag of ramen will do. I'm a sucker for the spicy broth. I really, really am. You're absolutely right. The music was just haunting and so beautiful. Oh, thank you, Great Voice. I'm glad it's not just me. And that's what I really love about our community, us all coming together and weighing in, because even if we disagree, we do it respectfully, and it helps us see the other person's point of view and why. And it really opens our eyes. That's what I love about these discussions. You're right. You're right. They don't make films like that anymore. I wish they did. So, all right, guys, I'm going to head out right now. I do have a video dropping tomorrow. It was pre-scheduled. It's it drops tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 5 p.m. UK, and I think that's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's, is it time for Harry to lose his titles? So I'm doing so much better putting out the content. I'm getting the hang of things, and you guys have been so incredibly supportive. So I appreciate you all. I love that we're friends. I love that we're here, that we're doing this together. And so let's connect on all those other platforms. And you guys have a great rest of your night. And I hope you have a wonderful week. So talk soon. Bye.